Jack Butella for LandAcademy. This is podcast production instructions for our internal people or potentially anybody who may produce this podcast. It's a pretty simple process. Let's get to it. Locate the Adobe Audition file, the SESX file, and open it. It's a raw recorded file that we do the show in. Every single piece of it's all in here, all the data, 100%. You don't have to import anything. The first thing we're going to do is rename it and save it so it's saved separately. So the show is called Acquisition Criteria here. We're going to save it as something like, and save it as anything you'd like, anything that's different, because if something goes wrong, we wouldn't be able to go back to this original file and redo it. So task or whatever, stay in the same place. Number 2, add the metadata from the master podcast production schedule. In this case, we're editing or producing show number 194. There's lots of titles here, but the meta title is what you're looking at right now. It's in column F. You just simply copy it. Control C and paste in the proper area in the show. Window, metadata. The window pops up. All this has been preset for you, all of it. You simply, it'll pop up as ID3, and you only really want to stay in ID3 and replace the title. That's it. There's no saving or anything. You go back and unmark metadata, and you're done. Number 3, cut the back off the main track. Main track's always down here. It's always one track. Down here. Everything's recorded in one track. There's a trailer here. There's an intro here. That music and that stuff never changes, ever. All we're doing is editing this track. In this case, it's in track 6. And I'll get to that in just a second. This is a lot less complicated than it really looks on the onset of it. Okay, we have the metadata done. What we're doing is cutting off the back of the main track. So when we're done recording, you can hear it here. And we're just about done.
Jack and Jill, information and inspiration.
Let's go buy some property for half price. I'm going to stop the player and cut this trailing piece off. There's almost always a piece. So Control K is a shortcut and delete it. And that's as simple as that. Now we go to noise reduction. So let's move up to the front of the track. Take your player head and roll it all the way up to the front of the track. There's a lot of other easier ways to do this, but I'm doing it for purposes of this instruction video. I'm dragging it. You're going to see, so you can mute these tracks. Sometimes you'll see when they get to you, they might be muted. You have to turn them back on. But you can see on every show we do, there's a bunch of open space or silence in the beginning of the show, and here's why. Right click on this, edit source, and listen. Let's listen. Now you may or may not be able to hear.
Tell it for LandAcademy. Welcome to our cat.
The static and stuff that's going on. What we're going to do is we're going to first take a noise. For the number 1, we're going to shoot a noise print here. We're going to take a little space. Not a ton of space. We're going to go to Effects, Noise Reduction, Restoration, capture the noise print. It's that fast. Right click, select all, same thing, Effects, same place, Noise Reduction, Restoration, and then process. And this is the noise that it picked up in the beginning, and apply. That's going to take some time. Not too much time. While it's doing that, let's look at the next step. Processing here, number 5. Number 4. Number 5, cut the front off of the track and adjust, just like we cut the back off. We're going to go back over to multi-track, and you're going to see all this big noise here. And let's just listen for a second.
Jack, you tell.
What we're listening to is just this track. Now it's completely silent,
Jack Butella for LandAcademy.
and we don't have to be too crazy about this or too specific. Control K for cut it off. And now this is important. Adjust this until it hits this right here. And you can see it. If your audition is set up properly, it'll clip there. You'll see that blue line. Clips right in. Done. Now this is what.
Right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butella for LandAcademy. Welcome to our.
Okay. So far, so good. Cut front off. We just did that. Match volume. Number 6. The name of this track is 6001. We're going to go over here to match volume and find the track. Here's a hint. It's always the longest one. In this case, it's 18 minutes. There's no other tracks in here that are 18 minutes. These SESX tracks are the actual whole track. The whole, not the track even, it's the whole file that contains the whole show. Hasn't been converted yet. So we take this 601, just drag it down here, match volume set, and hit run. We need to make sure that our settings for match volume, you only have to set them once, are correct. It's ITU, loudness, -23. I'm going to take a second, just take a look at that. All right, it ran, it's done. You should check those settings before you run that. Next step, we matched volume. We're going to mono bus. We're going to set up a bus for this. Now, in master, we're going to master this track. We're going to go here to bus, add a bus, mono. It always does it down below it. Now you'll notice it's not in stereo anymore. Let's listen.
Cash flow from Land Show once again. We show you
It's
how to
in
buy
mono.
property for half of what it's worth.
The whole track is the
We
same.
sell it the very next day. Great
Stabilized
information
size.
and instruction from Jack, that's me.
And inspiration from Jill. That's me.
Make sure you're on this track, not the bus track. Not here, not here, not here, but on the bus track. The next step is to make this sound good. Filter EQ, parametric equalizer. Effects, filter EQ, parametric equalizer. Let's listen.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butella for LandAcademy. Welcome to our Cash Flow from Land Show once again. We show you how to buy property for half of what it's worth and resell it the very next day. Great information and
Hear the
instruction
difference.
from Jack, that's me.
And inspiration from Jill. That's me.
In this episode, Jill and I talk about the importance of REI acquisition criteria.
always take
Comes up
the number
every day.
5
Jill,
unit.
great show
Put it
today.
up a little bit.
But before we start,
Gauge.
here's some funny stuff that happened to us
Take
recently.
this down.
All right, what was
That's
it?
it. You never
The
want to be in the
last
red over here.
5
It's just
people.
capping the red
We
a
made
little
job
bit.
offers too.
You're doing great. This is actually came out natively perfect.
I don't think it was
all
5.
good.
I don't think it was
Sounds
5.
great.
So,
We even convinced one to
Oh, I got
take
it
us on as a
back.
The rest of
client.
the show. go
wait,
on
wait,
like
was
that.
it 5?
The rest of the show go on like that. That's done. We're getting close. Now, this is the part that takes a little bit of little talent. Copy and paste the bumper music markers. There's usually 5 that I set up in the different parts of our show. Down here, this is the template example. You're not going to have one of these for every show, but it's a template example of the script that we do before the show. And in here you'll see the the separators or bumpers for each segment. There's usually 5, maybe 4, sometimes 6. I will not have these marked for you. It's a pain in the butt. It takes too long. You're going to have to find them. I won't have the script ready to go, but you will have these markers, and I'll show you. I do put these in. Here's marker 1. So we want to put bumper music, or bumper, like guitar riff, these 2 units here, in each one of these markers. They are not aligned perfectly. Please, please, please remember that. It's not as simple as just finding them and pasting the music. And I'll show you why. Because we've moved it around. So let's listen.
By one of our members on successplant.com, our free online community.
Okay.
Copy them together or move them together, however you want to choose to do it.
Online community.
Okay. Jared.
I set the marker right here, but it really needs to be here. Let's do the next one. Maybe it'll be easier, maybe it'll be harder. Marker 2. This is the next segment of the show. Marker 1 was this portion. Marker 2 is the meat of the show. Let's listen.
Acquisition criteria. This is the meat of the show.
Mm-hmm. We're getting kind of technical here. I got to...
Acquisition criteria. This is the meat of the show.
There's a couple places we could put it. We could
Acquisition
put it here
criteria.
or here.
Mm-hmm.
We never break this file up. So if this breaker music overtalks either one of us, it's fine. I'm going to put it here.
Acquisition criteria.
Let's listen.
Acquisition criteria. This is the meat of the show.
Mm-hmm. We're getting kind of technical.
Let's do another one.
Advice. It's probably not going to take 10 minutes. I just said technical 10 because it rhymes. 10 minutes.
Point is,
Experience. Here's my advice. It's probably not going to take 10 minutes. I just said
breaks the show for our listeners, and it's not critical that it's not imperative that it's perfect, but it just needs to end one portion of the segment of the episode, and then start the next one.
8816.
Let's listen again.
Show call 800-725-8816. 8816.
Let's move this over a little.
8816.
My inspirational topic for today is...
And then finally, the breaker at the last show. That divides the real show with the other show.
Get there for
Let's listen.
property for half
That
of what it's
after talk
worth
is what
and
we
sell
call
it immediately.
get there first. Great show, Joe. Good inspirational stuff. Are you pulling some of that out of Success Plan?
I'm going to save the show. Okay. Now, what number was that? We did number 9. Adjust the back end extra music. Way out here you can see the templated extra music. We're going to copy all these. I'm hitting Control and left click mouse. However you want to do it is fine. And we're going to move this back Same situation. Watch the blue lines. They need to match with this right here. The end of the top here matches with the end of this. That's why we cut the back off. Let's listen.
Yeah.
You can't tell somebody that. They have to go through it themselves before they say, this is crazy.
They got to figure it out for themselves.
Right.
And that's okay. They wouldn't, it's like they don't appreciate it until they've had that the other way.
Exactly.
So, very good. Jack and Jill, information and inspiration.
Let's go buy some property for half price.
We hold a drawing to win a free...
That's the show. Save. Now the show's done, and the SESX file is saved. Now we want to import it. It's saved. Number 11 is saved. Now we want to export the actual MP3 files that'll be listened to and syndicated. So the first step is to do this actual MP3 file that's syndicated to either GoDaddy, Libsyn, Blueberry, or wherever we are hosting it. At the moment, we're hosting it at GoDaddy, and I'm going to show you how to do that. The other ways are exactly the same. In fact, they make it even easier. And then we're going to do the exact same process and export the MP3 file for the transcriptionist at rev.com. First, let's quite simply just export it. Right-click anywhere on the show, anywhere. It's better not to right-click on a track, but it doesn't matter. Export mixdown, entire session, and choose your subdirectory. Browse. Wherever your subdirectories may be. For me, it looks like this. It's very important to make sure that the file name that you export, this right here, is exactly, in fact, it's copied and pasted, the name of this file. Make sure there's no space in the front here or space in the back here. If there's any, if it's not perfect, this piece of it, it won't, the RSS feed won't read it. I'm writing temp, but it needs to be perfect. I'm writing temp because I don't want to overwrite files. This is imperative. Change this to mono and it makes the file half the size and won't screw up our RSS feed. If you leave it at stereo, it's going to be huge and it's going to cause some pretty big problems around the end. We've got this temp right here. It's mono right here. And we hit OK. It's going to take a couple, just 30 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm going to wait for it. Great, we got the show, entire session. Now, let's do it again for the transcriptionist, which takes out all the bumper music and everything, and only the show, which is what they want to transcribe. Right-click again on the show, on the track, export mixdown again, selected clip. Browse. Same criteria. I always put a T at the end for transcription. You're welcome to do it however you'd like. And then save it. Same exact process. I'm doing this temp example just to show you, but the native file is just T, or however you choose to do it. Again, still stereo. You've got to take this down to mono. I'm in the middle of recording. So that takes us to step 14. Now we have the two native MP3 files, or I'm sorry, completely finished MP3 files ready to go up to wherever they're going to be syndicated. MP3 for, in our case, we're going to take it up to GoDaddy. and then the transcription. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to log into GoDaddy, or Libsyn, or Blueberry, or wherever we happen to be doing it. I have a feeling this is how it's going to go for a while. We're logged in. Waiting. File manager. Root directory. Let's take a look at it. It's hosted at LandAcademy. Content. The show is cash flow from land. It could be different. And here's all the files that are posted up there now. Simply want to add ours. Upload. Let's find it. And you can see that I uploaded it here. So let's upload this one. We're going to delete it because we're not going to use it. As the naming convention is different, but you get it. Double click, and let's watch on the bottom here. It's going in. Now, while this is uploading, and it'll be done in just a second. In fact, let's just not confuse it, and we'll wait. Next up, transcribe. Exact same process. We just throw the transcription up. I'm going to log in here. Let's check on GoDaddy. Just about. Place a new order, transcription only, upload files, see the T, I had the T temp example, it's the same thing it's going to upload. We're almost done on GoDaddy, just got started in Rev. Just about done on GoDaddy. Complete. X out. Rev, we're going to wait. While we're waiting for Rev, we just fill the sheet out. The script is done, always by the time it gets to you, and so is recording is done. Producing is what we're doing. So producing is all the way through until we upload and complete the two MP3 files. This column here is to send the transcript to Rev, and this column is to send the transcript to GoDaddy / Blueberry / Libsyn / whatever. And then this column is for uploading, but that's beyond the scope of this. So the production piece should be simple. It should be obvious from what we did. We're going to check out, log in, and then just follow the steps. It's going to ask you for the names of the people who spoke. At the very end, it'll say, who are the speakers? Please add it. If you don't, it's okay, but it's just easier for the transcriptionists. You simply type whoever's in the show. Jack Butella and Jill DeWitt, 95% of the time, 99% of the time. And then just check out. They'll send you an email when it's done. And that's how to produce a show. You mark it in, and it's ready to go. If everything's done in WordPress and all that, which is beyond the scope of this, it should be perfect. Thanks for watching.